Welcome to another exciting episode of Bondi, Yanga, where we are achieving to give you information about decent housing for all. In today's episode, we are looking at understanding title deed. So by the end of this episode, you will have information on how to secure a title deed and how to verify a title deed. And joining me here today with that information is none other than Eunice Walia. She's joining us from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, and she is from the Lands and Deeds Department. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you so much and good day to you.
Now, I'm going to start with a very basic question of what is a title?
Thank you so much for that question. I would explain what a title deed is. So this a certificate of title is issued under the provisions of the Lands and Deeds Registry Act, Cap number 185 of the laws of Zambia. So these titles are issued under planned state land.
Okay.
Planned state land, not unplanned.
All right, let's look into that. Planned state land.
Okay, thank you so much. So planned state land. So this is land that is controlled by the state. It is demarcated, surveyed, of course, then put on title. Yeah, so for instance, areas like Kabulonga, Ibex, Long Acres, those are planned state land, unlike those in Chongwe, which are under traditional land. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, so why is a title deed important?
A title deed is important because it provides conclusive evidence that you are the owner of that property. And it also provides security in case of any conflict whatsoever. So when you have that title deed, regardless, wherever you may go and whatnot, you prove that this is yours. So in short, what I'm saying is it provides evidence of ownership and security for land ownership.
So a title deed says the land Yanga.
The land Yanga. So if you don't have a title, but you've got land wherever it is in Zambia, there is no proof there.
Okay.
That land is yours because anybody can claim that it is theirs.
Okay, that's very important. But how do I make sure my title deed is genuine?
Thank you. So there are two ways in which you would do a verification that this title deed is genuine. Number one, remember, I'll take you back just a bit. Before we switched to the new system, we had those physical titles. I'll explain first on the physical titles that were issued in the old system called ZILMIS. So those ones, you would have to bring them. So if anybody out there has got that physical title with them that was issued before May 2023, 12, so those ones were issued in the old system. So if you want to verify over that title, you need to bring the physical title to the Ministry of Lands. Not just any department, of course, but Lands and Deeds Department, where we look out for certain features that will tell us that this is the genuine title. Of course, we would look into the system, not just verifying physically, but we would open in the system and verify who the title holders are and everything that we look out for, which I will not mention. Yeah.
Okay.
So then looking at those titles that were issued under ZILMIS, which is the new system that was introduced in 2023, those ones are digital titles. Of course, one would be like, we've received so many questions like, how genuine are these? Because they're like, it's a paper. But there are also certain features, there are barcodes that we look out for. Okay. When you look at it, when we give a layman just to look at that copy, they would be like, it's nothing. Because we used to receive such messages to say, this doesn't make sense because it just looks like a paper. Compared to those ones that were issued in the old system. But I can assure you, when we look at those digital titles that are issued in the new system, there is something that we look out for.
Okay.
It goes eye.
So we can fake the gonga.
Yeah, so there's a barcode that we look out for, then it will link us somewhere that will tell us to say this is a genuine title and this one is fake. Of course, we've seen some that people are making in the new system. But of course, we are able to tell as a department. Thank you so much.
Great. And it's great that you're making use of technology as well in achieving this. So some of the terms we hear around the conversation of title deeds, common leaseholds. What is that?
Okay, thank you so much. It is also part of title deeds,
Okay.
that are issued. I think I'll just give an example of flats, like Kawata flat. So in short, a common leasehold would refer to parcels of land and its buildings
Okay.
that are issued under the provision of Common Leasehold Act 39 of 1994. So those ones are the parcels of land and its units that are converted. Like I said earlier on, an example of Kawata flats. So you discover that it's one land that has got a building of different flats. So that is a very good example of a common leasehold. You have land with flats there. So those ones we issue common leasehold titles.
So what steps must one take in order to legally change ownership of land?
Thank you so much, Chief, for that question. Like I said earlier on, I had mentioned that when you asked me a question about how you can tell that this title is legit or not, I had mentioned that you need to bring in the physical title to the department so that we have a look at it and verify whether it's genuine or not. Same applies to when you want to change ownership, because before you could even sign a contract of sale, you need to make sure that you've done the various steps, you've verified, you've checked the encumbrances and whatsoever. That's when you can go ahead and draft a contract of sale. Because we've seen situations where one would sell land and they even sign the contract of sale. But when they bring in that title to the ministry, we discover that it's fake. So I would urge clients out there, when they want to change ownership, number one step to take is do physical verification, where you submit the physical title. Of course, you will not leave it there at the ministry. You will just look at it, verify whether it's genuine or not, then we'll advise. Then number two, you need to check whether there are encumbrances on that property, because there are title holders that would sell their land, yet there are those encumbrances. Maybe they borrowed money. We've seen situations where someone borrowed money from an institution, then they failed to pay. Then they make a title from wherever. Knowing that they left that title, maybe with an institution, maybe Zambia National Building Society, they are holding that title for that particular individual. Then they meet this person because they couldn't finish paying their dues. Then they meet this person and gives them a fake title.
Yeah.
Yet in the system, we're able to tell, to say there's an encumbrance here. This person got a mortgage from person A, B, C, D, yeah, or they sold maybe to 3-4 people. We've seen all those instances where you'd sell one parcel of land to maybe 5 people. Then you'd wonder to say, which world are we living in? So you need to make sure out there that you bring in, we check the encumbrances that are there on the property, because we go in the system to check. Yeah, so that's when we check the encumbrances, we check that the title is valid. That's when you can go ahead and sign the contract of sale with between the vendor and the purchaser. Yeah, thank you.
So how long does it take to process a title deed, and what could possibly cause any delays?
Thank you so much. How long it takes? Wow. Okay, for land lease and title registration, that begins from Lands Department. Offer, lease, the commissioner should sign, then it is pushed back now to Lands and Deeds for issuance of certificate of title. That one takes up to 22 working days. Then the change of ownership from person A to person B, that one takes 14 working days. So there are several reasons why we see delay in issuing those certificate of titles. Number one, late payments of consideration fees for the first transaction, which is land lease and title registration. Clients would delay even when they are given an offer letter for them, an ITT, to make payments. They would delay in making payments so that they can get an offer letter, then the process should begin. So equally, when it comes to change of ownership, clients would just apply and attach maybe wrong documentation. We've had such instances where for instance, I would give an example of maybe you want to add your wife to the title using a deed of Moet. You don't attach maybe her NRC, we don't know, or for instance, because she's your wife, you need to attach a marriage certificate. then you miss out that. So once it comes to our department with the missing mandatory requirements, that would delay the process because we'll have to rebate it back to you for addition of correct documentation. Yeah, another one is you discover that one would submit the documentation correct, but they are missing, like for instance, ZRA, PTT certificates, because when you're doing change of ownership from person A to person B, there is need for you to get a ZRA receipt. You need to make payment and attach those to the system so that we can proceed to issue a certificate of title. But we have had instances where clients would get consent, of course, state consent. They would draft all those deeds and attach them, but they would just be missing ZRA, which is very cardinal to this transaction. So all those, maybe they never even applied for ZRA evaluation. So we would refer them back to ZRA officers so that they do that formal procedure and then attach the receipt so that we can proceed, because we cannot proceed to do that transaction minus the attachment of the ZRA certificate and receipt. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Another reason would be, there are so many things that clients do not know out there. Yeah, one would have a title, but I don't know what to do next. Even when they want to sell it to the other person, they are so blank about it.
Right.
Another issue that would cause delay in issuance of certificate of title is understanding the procedure as clients also.
Right.
Yeah, so I would advise that before they do change of ownership, like we said earlier on, they visit the ministry so that we tell them exactly what to do.
So you will provide a checklist then?
Yes.
As long as we've got that checklist,
yes,
it's all good.
Yeah, because there are also issues like when one wants to apply for a duplicate and they do not know the requirements, because the checklists are there for each transaction that we do. So the client ought to be aware of what to attach and what not to attach for their process to be very quick.
Great.
Yeah. Another reason would say internet challenges, of course, sometimes, though that doesn't happen more often.
Okay.
If at all it happens, then, it's just maybe for a day and whatnot. But the major things that I've highlighted, missing documentation and incorrect documentations being attached to the transaction, that's what causes delay in issuance of certificate of title.
Okay. So it's very, very encouraging to know that once we actually visit your institution, then we have things on the way, and possibly you could visit our new house in the future.
Oh yes, thank you so much.
So with that said, it helps to pay a visit to your institution. You are readily available to give the information public, and they should be encouraged to see you, correct?
Exactly.
Fantastic.
And one thing that I would say, Chi, is that our ministry is open to all.
Great.
We are friendly people, very friendly, I can assure you, because we've got our customer service out there that attends to the public. Then one thing that I would say is the system has been made digital, so you can access us anywhere. Unless it's something that you need to see us face to face, then we can attend to you. But otherwise, everything has been put on the government service bus where you can access whatever transaction. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, we look forward to getting more information and, of course, paying you a visit on our journey to achieving decent housing for all.
Thank you so much, Jay.
Thank you, Eunice. Well, with that said, we'll be informing you on our next episode when it comes to how you can achieve decent housing. So we hope you have walked away with some great answers when it comes to issues and questions on title deeds. Until next time, from myself and Eunice, goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Pomanga, Bondi Yanga, I met you, I was a very window, the loaning color, Bondi Yanga.
For many, home is just a place to sleep, a rented room, a leaking roof, a borrowed space that never truly feels like theirs. Martha has always worked hard, always saved what she could. But what if her savings could do more? ZNBS is making home ownership possible, a small loan built on group savings, giving families like Martha's a chance to own something real. With the Timange housing loan, Martha's savings turn into bricks, her dream into a foundation. Join a Village Banking Group today and let ZNBS's Timange Housing Loan help you own your home. Timange, your savings, your home.